All right. I guess we're live. This is this is something I guess that I've been kind of playing around with an idea that's kind of been brewing for probably about a couple of years now. Not well, no, not years. Probably a year. That's probably more accurate. That I've kind of been tossing around, but it's not really an original idea. This is not something that I've kind of created or came up with or something that's new, but it's something that I think resonates with me. One of the things that I really enjoy doing. I know for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, some of my live streams, hey Brandon, one of my biggest things that I've enjoyed the most is trying to create a community and trying to expand the community. It's something that I've always kind of prided myself on doing is trying to kind of put people together. I guess it's kind of I guess a mediator. Hey, Aquascapes, thanks for being here, Jeff. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, this is like I said, this is a little thing that I've been kind of playing with. It's kind of what I'm a little play on what I'm already doing. Joe, thanks for being here. Where I do live streams and I usually have guests on and I try to, you know, give them an opportunity to get I guess introduced. I don't even know if that's the right word, but just kind of like I said, kind of mediate and help them find a group that will probably um you know be compatible with what they're doing. So uh uh I guess this segment or whatever you want to call it or live streams or episodes, it's like everything else that I do. It's not scheduled. It's not going to be planned or stuck to a regimen or time. It's basically when I have time or I have enough stuff to talk about. Uh hey Brian, and one of my biggest things that they that I'm always talking about it, and those of you guys that have been following what I do is I'm always talking about how much time I spend on YouTube trying to find different channels out there and stuff like that. And well, here's about time that I kind of put that to proof of that. And so I wanted to do a section where I can, because the idea was, I'm starting to ramble. The idea is to try to bring them on as guests for my live streams, because I think that would be not only giving people an opportunity to get some eyes on their channel, but also to get to know the person. Yeah, getting plugged again, Mike. An opportunity to get to know the person that's behind the channel, and I think is one of the things that really interests me. And who's yelling? I don't see Sam, unless he's on a different thing. Oh, by the way, before I get any further, hey Jesse, is the background music too loud? Because I just hated the dead silence when I was sitting here. So just let me know if it gets a little bit too loud. I'll turn down the background music. But what I wanted to do, because I can't get everybody on at the same time that I wanted to, well, the other thing I could do is probably kind of guide people to their channel. Oh, there you are, Sam. Thanks for being here. And so I wanted to do this. I was playing with the idea of trying to do it in a video form, but okay. Truth be told, I'm too fucking lazy to sit there and edit, as you guys well know. Hey, Scott. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'll do it on a live stream. It's really intended to be more like a playback video, to be honest. But this platform is already set up where I don't have to edit anything. I can just, plug and play, which is basically what I'm doing. And the other thing I wanted to do this is because I don't know if I can share. Yeah, let me share with you guys. I'm going to share a little bit. I'm going to overshare probably. But anyways, here's what it is. This is actually my channel feed, and I want to see in here just so you get an idea of my madness in my subscriptions. Let me see. Show more. Let's see if it'll let me show more. Okay. Oh, well. This is one of the things when I am working late at night. Here, the other day I was trying to figure out how many channels I'm actually subbed to, and I literally lost count. It's over I think it's over 1,000. And every time, and a lot of these channels, let's see, a lot of these are like Spanish, and some of them are in English, and but like this one here is from Spain. And this is the one guy that I reference once in a while where people say you can't do that in the aquarium hobby, and I always point them to check out his aquariums because he's got this crazy setup where he's got a hodgepodge. I mean, everything that's not supposed to be together in an aquarium, he's got it in there, and he's pulling it off. He's got African cichlids, he's got South American cichlids, he has small fish, big fish. He had at one point he had an Asian arowana with a bunch of, it was just nuts. And I used to laugh. I thought that was hilarious because, you know, we all say you can't do that, but there's always a you know, an exception to the rule, and I always reference him. But you can see these are just all the channels to start with A right here. There are some other non hobby related channels, but for the most part, this is all A's still. For the most part, they're like you know, different channels. This is Aquatic Moose. He's a guy that hangs out in a lot of the streams. I mean, this is what I do. Anytime I come across a channel that, and you'll notice that the common thread between a lot of these is very similar channels to what I keep, you know, Planet Aquariums, community tanks, and that kind of stuff. But so that's kind of what I wanted to do. Hey Tommy, who else is I was kind of on the other screen and wasn't looking in here. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with this one. So I had actually picked out 4 channels. I mean, I could probably sit here. What's Naked Yoga doing on there? That's the one that you recommended, and it was an excellent channel, Sam. I mean, I can't get enough of that downward dog with the back end of the dog going to the camera. But yeah, highly recommend it. Latoya, hey, thanks for being here. Jose, thank you so much. And so a lot of what I'm trying to do with this live stream is because I can't schedule everybody that I want to have on at once. Well, I figured this is a little cheat that kind of gives me an opportunity to plug some other channels that are just starting, channels that I've seen and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. And like I've told you guys in the past, I think if I like it, some of you guys might enjoy it too. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start out with one channel. Most of the channels are going to be small channels. This kind of breaks the exception because it's over 1,000 subscribers, but I think it's a really, really interesting channel if you like history stuff, and especially when it pertains to the hobby. The name of the channel is called The Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. I think I had them queued up in here, but never mind. Oh, yeah, there they are. And so let's go here. This is their channel. And what's really neat about this is like when you're like the ultimate nerd or hobby nerd, and you just can't get enough of watching other people's channel, but you want to, you know, like for me, one of the things that I'm always curious is, how did this get started? How did the hobby get started? Who were like the pioneers of the hobby? I think this is a great resource. I had already stumbled across this channel a while back, But I think when I had Stefan on, he referenced this channel again, and I had totally forgotten. Not totally forgotten, but I had it had kind of gone into the back of my file, my brain file, and had kind of just, it was just collecting dust there until he brought it up again, and I was like, oh yeah. And I remember when I started watching this channel, they were like 200 or 300 subscribers maybe, and now I'm glad to see that they're over 1,000. But I think this channel, if you're in the hobby and you're really curious about stuff that pertains to the hobby, it's really good. It's informative, it's entertaining. I think the gentleman's name that curates the museum, his name is Gary, and he's he doesn't take himself too seriously. He does these unboxing videos, or the most recent, like I think he calls them the 5-minute section videos, where people will send them, or they buy for the museum pieces of history for not just the aquarium hobby, but like I've seen him. The last one, he was unboxing some bird cages, and I found that's how much of a freaking geek I am. I thought that was pretty interesting to find out, the history behind that. And so yeah, the 5-minute unboxings. So most of you guys might already be subscribed to them, but I don't hear it mentioned a lot, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. But this is one of the channels that like I said, and it's this one in particular, at least like the 5-minute unboxings, is one that I need to sit down and watch, because I like to watch what he's doing. It's not like my live streams where you could walk away, be doing water changes, because we're not really showing much. It's just more of a conversation. But I didn't know that they were doing guests, and I guess a lot of the guests that they're bringing on are also either people that work for some of these companies, or they're renowned names in the hobby. So I thought that was really neat. So I just kind of wanted to share what you guys, most of you guys might be already familiar with them, and if you are, that's great. But I find it a very entertaining channel, especially because I like seeing how people used to keep fish in the past, and how the hobby has kind of evolved. Hey Jay, thanks for being here. So that that was one of those that I thought was interesting. I'm sure that these guys will grab traction and they'll take off. But that's one of the ones that I wanted to share. The other one that I've been kind of watching lately is a gentleman named David. I know there's a lot of Davids here, but this is, I believe it's Dave's Fishroom. Let me see. Fishroom. Here it is. Yeah, he's another one that I don't think I might have subscribed maybe about a couple of months ago, and I've kind of been watching him. And it's he keeps mostly like community tanks, planet tanks. He shares a lot of the stuff where he's kind of putting together tanks and stuff like that. It's a little bit of what he's doing there. I really like his tanks. That's the bottom line. That's one of the reasons why I've kind of watched it, is I really like the stuff that he's keeping in his tanks. Again, you're gonna see a common thread, which is I gravitate to people that keep similar fish to what I'm keeping, planet aquariums, that kind of stuff. And he's another guy. I don't know how consistent. Let's see how regular. This is 1 day, 10 days, 3 weeks. So yeah, 3 weeks. I guess he's kind of on and off depending on when he has time to do this. This is gentleman here, Dave. He's on the thumbnail there. So that's one. If you guys are not familiar with Dave, go give him check him out. If it's something you like, well then you know the thing. Subscribe and and continue to watch them. Like I said, I find it interesting. I see, if you kind of look at his tanks, they're somewhat similar to what I keep, to a certain point, except I think he's much better at doing the aquascaping than I am. But that's not really saying much. So he's got 39 videos. He's about 407 subscribers. I don't know how prevalent he's on his shorts. He's got a few shorts. I think it's only like 4 or 5. Yeah, somewhere around there. So it's a relatively new channel. Let's see. We can find out. We can be nosy and find out. He started. Well, I see what this is. He's probably been consuming and watching YouTube for a very long time. But let's see when his first video was posted. Let's go with the oldest. Yeah, about a year ago. It looks like he started posting content about a year ago. I know I've seen a couple of you guys in the comments. Stefan is probably the most consistent thread that I've seen through a lot of these newer channels. For those of you who don't know, Stefan, he's Lush and Salty Aquatics. And every time that I go, it used to be Jeff, but Jeff is busy now. Jeff is busy. He's building a fish room. He's working. But it used to be that I would go in and think I found a new channel, and I go to the comments, and Jeff had already planted his flag. And I'm sorry, I hadn't been looking at. We're spying. Who are we spying on? Yeah, we're spying on some channels. Hey, Braden. Wait, a bunch of you guys have come in. Let me go back and acknowledge this is not like where I have a guest, so I could have time to. Oh, Aquatic Moose. Oh, your ears must have been burning. We were just talking about you. Let's see. We got Funk is in here. Who else just kind of snuck in here? Jay. Oh, Jim Fish. Thanks for joining us too. Hopefully I'm not missing any. Jose, I think I already said hello, but hello again. Indoor fishing inside. You and Kyle with Outside In always trip me up with that name. I always want to say something different. All right. Okay. Well, anyways, Dave's Fishroom. That's one of the guys. But before I go any further, this is what I wanted to. Because I know I'm going to forget to acknowledge it. This idea, I got to give credit where credit is due. I can call him a friend now. He's actually, and I know this concept is not new at all, because I know Big Fish Lad had done something like that. There's a lot of channels that'll do like recommendations, but the one that I really thought was neat because of the concept, the way he was doing it, was my friend Sergio from Historia de un Acuarista. Let me go in here, and you'll see where this kind of originates. Historia de un Acuarista. And he had in his channel, you see, and he's a pretty big channel down in Mexico. He's got like 72,000. But if you go to his playlist, he has a section called, in Spanish, Descubriendo Canales, which basically translates to discovering channels. And one of the things.
Oye, adivina qué. Puedes traer tu teléfono a Metro.
Turn that down. One of the things that I really liked what he was doing is he was finding channels that he found very interesting and that they were really working hard. Just kind of like making videos and trying to open way into the community. So he's the one that he would do a dedicated. He's a lot better content creator than I am, because he actually took the time to genuinely do videos. Let me turn the audio down to this so that you guys and I can skip this. But he actually did like a video. And he would go pretty much what I'm doing, go to their page and kind of show some of the stuff that they were working on and stuff like that. So and he actually found my channel too, because I think I'm in here somewhere. Which I told him, yeah, I told him I owe him because I'm not really working that hard. As you guys well know, I'm not the most prolific content creator, but let's see. So, getting plugged again. Yes, this is definitely the place to get plugged. That's what this one. That's what we're doing here. But that's where this concept or this idea originates from. It's from it's specifically the way where he would go and seek out some of the smaller channels and try to give them an opportunity to get exposure. But he's a lot bigger channel than I'll ever be. But, and I've always said this, when I was starting out, it seemed like a lot of people in the community were willing and able to give me a hand to get a little bit of a spotlight and get some traction towards my channel. So, I've always been very appreciative of what these people have done for me. And, I figured, well, why don't I kind of pay it forward and also, do the same for people that are trying to break into creating content for the community and stuff like that. Oh, another one. His is Natural Aquariums. And I think he's based out of Germany. Let me get rid of that. Nope, that's Father Fish. Okay, I'm gonna have to use his handle. And if anybody, well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if anybody that's really new is watching this, but if you're thinking about trying to create a channel and you want to drive traffic, and I know Funk's here. This is one of Funk's biggest pet peeves, is that their handles do not match their channel names, and it makes it very difficult to try to find you. Hence why I like to give wrenches to people that come to my live stream, because this is a very common thread with trying to find people under their channel name. See, even this one's not working. Did I not spell it right? Let's see. Natural. Do I even know how to spell? Natural. Oh, that's why. Is that right? Natural Aquariums. I think so. Oh, there we go. There he is. And I know that's one of the things that that it makes it a little bit hard. And I'm slowly making videos again. Yeah, Aquatic Moose. Yeah, I know you were kind of gone for a little bit. But I know that it's hard. It's hard. It's hard for one to continually stay motivated. Two, sometimes and sometimes it's just life gets in the way. Life always takes priority over whatever it is we're doing, because at the end of the day, this is just a hobby. But anyways, Natural Aquariums. Let's go over here. And he's kind of been he's trying to dedicate and make his channels towards people that are just coming into the hobby. So a lot of the stuff that you see, a lot of his videos are precisely that, the basic stuff, how to do this, how to do that. But one of the reasons why I find his channel very interesting is because it's not in the United States. And I'm always fascinated by how people do things outside of the United States. Because, we have a certain way of doing things, and especially when it comes to keeping some of the fish. Um, I don't know. You see, I don't know if I fell out of that algorithm or what, but it always seems like we like to go bigger and bigger and bigger here in the States. The bigger, the better. The bigger, 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 bigger. Bigger houses, bigger cars, bigger tanks, bigger fish. Um, but you go to other places, and it's almost like a microcosm of society, because if you, well, Jose's a perfect example of that, although he's kind of like on the extreme side, because you live in cities that have denser populations, and you're forced to live in smaller areas. Well, then you kind of adapt, but that doesn't mean you can't participate. So you see, like a lot of these places, those, or especially like in Europe and stuff like that, where maybe the homes are not as big as, especially out here west of the United States. The further west you go, the bigger open areas you have, so the bigger homes you're going to have. Um, it allows you to do, you know, plywood tanks that are like 4,400 gallons in the basement of your house. You know, because we just have the ability to the room to do that. So I like seeing how people that keep the smaller stuff, and for somebody that likes to keep planet tanks, or you like to aquascape it, and at the end of the day, it really does make more sense to do it in a smaller scale, because it's going to be a little bit cheaper. It's going to yeah, well, that's just really it. It's just going to be a little bit cheaper. It doesn't cost you as much in plants, substrates, hardwood, hardwood, hardscape, and stuff like that. You're trying to escape, anything over, I guess, 20 gallons, and it starts getting expensive real quick. So, I like watching what he is. He talks about how he set up an aquarium for like 40 euros, which is like $42. It's like a 10-gallon tank that he did. But this is the kind of stuff that I really like watching, because a lot of people, when they first come into the hobby, or at least in my case, you're kind of on a budget. You don't really have the freedom. I think that is like a 10-gallon. It's smaller than a 20. I know that for a fact. But you're always, you have a budget that you got to stay within, and so I really enjoy watching this, because what you can do, what you're capable of doing in a smaller space, and still create an impact if that's what you're trying to do. Now, obviously, when you're keeping smaller aquariums, you're going to gravitate more. Oh, thank you, Brian, for dropping that in there. Maybe if I was a better content creator, I would have had those all lined up. I did put them in the description though, and I don't know if those will link. Yeah, just Santa Church. I know it was a competition between me and Jeff for a while. Now I got to compete with Stefan. But yeah, it's just it's for enthusiasts that are just coming into the hobby. It gives them an opportunity to find a way in. And the other thing is that he's pretty good about explaining what plants he's putting in there, how it's just, for a new hobbyist, I think it's a really, really good channel. So he's the other one, and I think the last one I want to do for today, because I could do this at the rate I'm going, raising fishes. I mean, all you guys have excellent channels. Now, yesterday, I was asked by somebody, it's like, well, I know it was a joke, and it was kind of a jab at me, but it just kind of made me think, well, I've never really addressed this issue. So, it's kind of like, well, maybe this could be the time to do it. It's not that it's weird, because this is like when you've been kind of friends with people for a while, and you're part of the same community, and you guys and you hang out in the same circles, it's kind of like too funny to reintroduce somebody to a group of people that everybody knows who you are. Um, and that's why there's some people that I it's not that I have, for the people that I don't like, you guys know who they are, because I have no qualms talking about who they are. Um, so if I'm not talking about you in that aspect, because I don't dislike you. I just feel that you've been in the community just as long or longer than I have, and already have that foundation of people that, who am I going to introduce you that doesn't already know you in this group? But that doesn't mean that we can't hang out and have a conversation. It's just kind of right now the priority has been on the channels that are creating new content and stuff like that, and people that I find and I go, oh, you know what, that would be cool, because I don't recognize anybody in the comments from our community. That's really what it boils down to. I'll see, it's not like if I go to Aquafunk's videos, there's a high probability that at least 5 of the people that are commenting is people that I already know. Where if I go to this gentleman's aquarium, comments, and we could do that now, I'll be lucky if I recognize at least one of the names in the comments. And as a matter of fact, I do. Glass Box Diaries is somebody that I've watched some of their videos. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't know who these other people are. And a lot of them are just regular people that kind of enjoy what he's doing and stuff like that. But so when I see somebody that's out there putting out videos like that, and I don't recognize a lot of the names, I go, oh, okay, well, maybe this is somebody that our community, our group of friends have not found yet. And since I kind of enjoy what they're doing, I figured there's a good probability that some of you might enjoy what they're doing. Hey, Ron. Right, another song. Oh, yeah, you guys are chatting about Stephen P. So it's not that I don't want to have. I want to have conversations with all of you guys, but it's just right now, and there'll be a time and a place for that too. But that's what it is. It's just it's not that I'm not wanting to bring some people up and stuff like that. It's got nothing to do with that. It's really what these guys that are trying to create a niche or something like that. And if I can give them an opportunity to have access to a group of other people that they're not having tapped into, then that's what I want to be able to do. Let's see, Jorge, it's been a cool change of pace to just have you. Both ways are cool. Yeah, well, I don't have the ability to be entertaining by myself. Like, Jason is great. Aquafunk, he can pull that off. There's a few in the community that can actually pull that off, where for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, they can just think off the top of their head and stay entertaining. And entertaining doesn't necessarily mean funny, but just wanting to be able to say something. Yeah, fresh meat to pick on. Yeah, that's why. Well, you weren't too fresh, Brandon, so that's not necessarily true. Kyle's already had the best of you. But anyways, I am not entertained. Yeah, so that's why I don't regularly do this stuff. I'll do stuff by myself if I know that there's something that I'm going to be able to talk about. Hey, SC. Let's see who else. Ron came in here. Sorry, Ron. Let's see. The Aquascape. Thank you so much for walking over to Steve's booth and letting me give him a little bit of a hard time. Steve and I used to do a regular stream on Saturday mornings, every other Saturday. But he's gotten real. Well, you saw. I don't have to explain to you how busy that man is. So, but yeah, he was out at the event that happened out there in Houston, and and the Aquascape just happened to go live. And so I told her, I said, "Hey, is Steve out there with Warrior Planet Tanks?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, he's just right over." So she was kind enough to walk over there and hear the banter between Steve and I. But I'm glad to see that he's posting a little bit more now, though. He's kind of stuck more towards Instagram and Facebook. I don't know if he's doing too much, and TikTok a little bit more, but he's just, that's just Steve. So that's what this was about. Oh, and the last one that I wanted to, well, not the last one, but the one for today that I wanted to find, and this young man is JamalsTUBE. Let's see if that one comes up. Yeah, there he is. I just recently saw a couple of his videos. A guide to, this is the one that I was watching. It's a pretty good video. He talks about the different filtration systems and the benefit of having Planet Aquariums, and it's just I like him because as a beginner, if you're somebody that's just coming into the hobby, these are great resources to have out there. I know Aquafunk, that's his channel is solely dedicated to for beginners. And I know one of the things, again, we go into the comments and I don't see a lot of the people that I recognize, so I figured, hey, maybe I can do something to get them a little bit more of an audience, a wider audience. And like I said, I kind of like what he's doing. I like his the videos that he's putting out, and he's got a real chill, low way of explaining things. He's very thorough. So I think as somebody that's starting into the hobby and is trying to find what's going on, let me see. That's trying to find what's going on. This could be very useful. But yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to do, was a little segment. I don't think I could go longer, but I don't want to necessarily go longer on this. He's dedicated to feet funk. But yeah, these are 4 channels that I recently came across. Well, 3 of them. The Museum of Aquarium and Pet History is one that I had seen for a while, but I had just kind of forgotten. Like I showed you guys, my subscription is, I am subscribed to more channels than I have people subscribe to me by twice, I think. And it's like that in all my platforms. You go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, my subscriptions outnumber my subscribers by twice as many, because I'm always just looking. And then there's a ton of other people on Instagram, but they don't want anything to do with YouTube. But I guess we could. It doesn't mean this that I'm doing now. Where's an interviews just different? Is if I could maybe on this platform, we can, for those of you that have other accounts, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you guys want to find other hobbyists and you want to enjoy their content, then I can, I guess, dedicate it as an Instagram accounts that I follow and TikToks. Although my Instagram is a lot more diverse, because I follow a lot of car content on there, a lot of food content. It's weird. But that's kind of, and a lot of, on Instagram is a lot of motivational, kind of like, I don't know, they're not quotes, they're just like little 30-second quit whining and push on kind of kind of things, which are pretty funny. Rocco. Oh yeah. Oh, for Mike. Well, Mike had already mentioned it, but actually Whip yesterday mentioned that he was going to this live stream with Rocco and Nitro is the other guy's name. They're both Army vets. They're both were in communications, and they have a live stream, which is really good. You know, it's not really a fish related channel per se, but they do talk about a lot of veteran issues. And I know a lot of the people in our community are veterans, so it's a good opportunity to reminisce about some of the shit that we did when we were in the service. And I know Chuck, which is Rocco, is really adamant about helping out veterans that are trying to get their benefits. Funk, I think he would be a great resource for you to reach out to. He's kind of plugged in with some high ranking file people within the VA that when you're getting stalled out, he might be able to get you to get pushed forward to the front of the line. So I know MNC has all his contacts, but I don't know if you know who Rocco or Chuck is, but he was just talking about it last night. If the VA is kind of giving you the runaround to go ahead and reach out, I know Mike has been telling me, MNC Aquatics has been telling me for a while now about, how much he likes to help. There you go, Gearhead Guardians. And Rocco just mentioned it last night, and he was adamant. He was, so for all you guys that are fellow vets, and it's for all vets. It's not just Army vets. He's a good resource to have, and both of them, that's really what they want to do, is be able to help other veterans. I mean, if you see the live stream from yesterday, you can get that. I mean, that is mission one, is to help other fellow vets, especially when it comes to trying to get their benefits. So that was pretty much it. There's a lot of other ones, but I just gotta sit down and kind of do what I did today, kind of have them ready. If you go to the descriptions, if you can find their actual handles on YouTube to be able to take you directly to their channels. And I know some of you guys were posting. I know Brian, I saw when Brian posted the one on there. But yeah, it just sometimes it's a little difficult to just look under the channel. It makes it a lot easier if you know their handles. But that was pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for coming in and hearing me out, and hopefully you guys find these channels as entertaining as I have. And if you like it, make sure you guys subscribe to them and give them a like. I know I've been hearing comments that if you subscribe to somebody but you don't engage, that the subscription will drop off. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you. I know this is usually shorter than what I do. I just wanted to make sure that these people get an opportunity to get introduced to the bigger community that we are, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. So with that being said, I just want to say thanks. And I don't know how, like I said, I know it sucks because I don't necessarily have like a fixed schedule, but these will probably be a little bit more regular because it doesn't take me very long to be able to set this together and do it. So, but I'm already rambling and extending, but thank you guys. And I'll come back with some other channels, and hopefully you guys also enjoy them. You guys take care. Bye-bye.